Erik Horne here with Maddie Lee after the Thunder's 124-109 win over the Atlanta Hawks tonight. This was a night that the Thunder's offense doesn't really show up very often, but tonight they were lethal. I mean, they only take 88 shots, they hit 50% of those shots, and they hit 18 threes, Thunder's high from three-point range this season.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was incredible to watch. You had guys who hadn't made shots in games, i.e. Patrick Patterson knocks down a three. You have Alex Abrines, who's been struggling since he came back from that illness, and he goes ahead and sets a career high of 7 threes. Everyone was on tonight.
No, it was an excellent performance from Patrick Patterson and Alex Abrines. Most importantly, it was a team performance, not just on the offensive side. There were some times where the defense had some lapses, but they turned defense into offense as they've done most of the time this season. The ball was spread around freely. You know, Dennis Schroeder had 8 assists. Russell Westbrook has 10. Steven Adams has 3. Patrick Patterson has 3. There was really a lot of ball sharing tonight. The Thunder doing the little things to be able to make their offense really hum, hitting their free throws, 93% from the free throw line. Look, this is against an Atlanta Hawks defense that's probably the worst in the league. I think they're giving up 113 points per 100 possessions. But for the Thunder to be as efficient as they were in this game says a lot about where their offense can go. And it comes on a day where they get bad news, and Andre Roberson being out for an extended period of time, he's going to be reevaluated in 6 weeks after they find an aversion fracture. There's the word. I've written it so many times today that I've forgotten it. An aversion fracture in his left knee. You know, this team could have come out and sulked. They could have come out and let the Hawks stay in the game longer than they did. The Hawks made a run in that third quarter, but they put them away. They put it away with the way that the Thunder really wants to play, sharing the ball, spreading it around freely.
Yeah, I mean, getting that news about Andre, definitely a bummer, especially since he's already had one setback, and that's never a good thing to hear about a player who has been making such good progress on this second round of rehab after he had the first setback. But the Thunder has been playing really good defense, and so that's a bright spot where they know that they can play good defense without him, and so a few extra weeks tacked on to that timeline, or however long it ends up actually being, won't hurt them too bad in the long run.
Now, you can't just go home and say, oh, well, the Thunder's fixed all their offensive problems. They're not going to have nights where they're playing the worst defense in the league, but they do have an opportunity these next few games, these 3 games against Eastern Conference teams in Detroit, Brooklyn, Chicago, to really build up some head steam. That's not a word. Some headway, or to build up a little bit of momentum. Whatever the word is. Build up some good momentum in terms of getting their offense really going. They played the way tonight that they're supposed to play throughout the season. You know, less of the isolation ball. There were a couple instances where they went into that, but it's easier to go about it when guys are making shots like Westbrook making his fall away, Paul George making a couple of those isolation shots. But when the ball really started moving, that's when you saw the Thunder's offense at their best. The defense is going to be there for the most part most nights, and even if it isn't, it's going to come around in instances and the Thunder's going to be able to get out and run and get some easy buckets. But tonight you saw the ball move around. They get over that 30 assist threshold for one of the few times this entire season, and they really showed the kind of team that they can be offensively.
Next, they head on the road, and Erik will be with you through those. What's the schedule looking like coming up here?
Detroit, Brooklyn, Chicago, all next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Then they come back for some tough games against, I think, Utah and New Orleans, so that'll be interesting to see. I might be wrong on those home games. Don't quote me.